Hello, my friends. I'm Johnny Vedmore, and I'm an Epstein expert. Epstein wasn't simply organizing a wave of teenage girls for old-fashioned sex compromise operations. He was also dealing in arms, property, arts, politics, humans, with a special interest in science and technology. From the late 90s onwards, Jeffrey Epstein funded the wealthiest and most powerful scientists who were designing the technocracy. This is Epstein List number 5, Epstein's Techno-Billionaire Trainees. First up, Elon Musk. Elon Musk was trained in psychological manipulation via a Jeffrey Epstein-funded program. Musk attended 2 separate masterclass courses at John Brockman's Edge while it was funded by Epstein. This was after Epstein had been convicted. The first training course was run by Richard Thaler, the grandfather of the government nudge units. The second course Musk was involved with was a joint SpaceX Edge special event hosted by George Church and J. Craig Venter at Elon Musk's SpaceX at its inception. The second course was on synthetic genomics, which many would regard as a gateway to transhumanism. Elon Musk attended the first course in 2008 after Epstein's conviction and hosted the second course at SpaceX in 2009, only 2 days after Jeffrey Epstein was released from prison. And when I say released, Epstein only had to serve 8 hours a day in prison from October 2008 and was at his El Brillo mansion in Miami for the other 16 hours each day. Like most of the scientists at Edge, Elon Musk hung around with Jeffrey Epstein, as we can see from this picture of the 2011 Edge Billionaires Dinner, where Elon Musk is pictured a few meters away from Jeffrey Epstein after his conviction. Next up, the one and only Jeff Bezos. The founder of Amazon was involved with the Edge Foundation very early on and attended almost every single one of the courses and events. Bezos had originally been recruited by D.E. Shaw and Company, an pre-internet era hedge fund which used algorithmic game theory to map out the profitable part of the coming internet era before investors even knew anything was on the horizon. Recruits of David Shaw went on to form big tech monopolies such as Amazon and Download.com. By 1999, Jeff Bezos was the richest man in tech and was being lauded on the cover of Time magazine. He was also getting involved with Ghislaine Maxwell's New York stomping ground of Sotheby's when Epstein's main funder, Les Wexner, was on the board of directors. Amazon teamed up with Sotheby's in 1999 when Bezos was also hanging around with Epstein at the Edge Billionaires dinners. From the late 90s, Edge was in full swing. All the gang were there. Alongside an excitable Bezos, there was Bill Gates, John Cusack, Jeffrey Epstein, Richard Dawkins, Douglas Adams, Steve Riggio, Nathan Myhrvold, Jeffrey Epstein, Martha Stewart, George Dyson, who feels so unnatural, Peter Gabriel too, Sean Parker, Anne Wojcicki, Sergey Brin, Sarah Kellen, Eric Schmidt, Jeffrey Epstein, Matt Groening, Olga of Greece, and John Brockman, and of course, Jeffrey Epstein too. Jeff Bezos was a regular Edge. He may have been one of the most regular attendees, but the next 2 up on the list were even more dedicated to Brockman and Epstein's foundation. Sergey Brin and Larry Page. The co-founder of Google, Sergey Brin, was a regular attendee at the Edge Billionaires dinner alongside his Google co-founder, Larry Page. When asked who he'd like to spend a dinner party with in the afterlife, Jeffrey Epstein listed Sergey Brin as an eternal dinner guest, alongside Alan Dershowitz, Clinton advisor Doug Band, Les Wexner, and Donald Trump. The other co-founder of Google remained supportive of Edge throughout Epstein's first conviction, jailing, and release. Page took part in the Edge Masterclass in 2007, 2008, and 2009, and was a regular at the Billionaires dinners. The top executives of Google, YouTube, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter -X were all regulars at the Jeffrey Epstein-funded galas. Larry Page is also a World Economic Forum leader for tomorrow. Page and Sergey Brin had met at Stanford and they developed Google together, which they launched in 1998. Salar Kamangar. The former CEO of YouTube and Google's 9th employee took part in various events funded by Jeffrey Epstein's Edge. This included the 2007 masterclass by Daniel Kahneman, the 2008 Richard Thaler masterclass, and the 2009 course held at SpaceX on synthetic genomics. Kamangar is listed as attending Edge events between 2007 and 2009. However, he was at other events after Epstein was released from prison the first time. In 2010, he is pictured with Larry Page and Laurie Park at the Edge Billionaires dinner. Eric Weinstein. While we're on the subject of maybe the most sinister and efficient of the technocrats, Peter Thiel, a notable mention of the Edge contributors is my good friend Eric Weinstein. When I say friend, he has decided to block me after I revealed that he worked for the United Nations between 2000 and 2002, writing the landmark paper Migration for the Benefit of All on behalf of the UN's Migrant Division, which encouraged mass immigration with little or no safeguards, slowly lowering the wage of a native population, just as we see unfolding all around us today. Eric Weinstein started contributing to Edge just after Epstein was released the first time. He contributed to Edge's annual questions in 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and of course 2018, right up to when Epstein was arrested the second time. Eric Weinstein also took part in the joint Edge Serpentine Gallery exhibition in 2010 alongside Marina Abramovich. As the managing director of Thiel Capital, Eric Weinstein is essentially an arms dealer, financing AI and drone weaponry, technology, and the like to companies with deep military intelligence ties. Eric Weinstein claims to have only met Epstein once and said, "I don't know who Jeffrey Epstein was, but I would certainly bet money that he was a product of at least one or more elements of the intelligence community." Of course, Eric Weinstein understands what an element of the intelligence community looks like. He was funded in university by the Office of Naval Research. He worked for the United Nations. He also worked for a futuristic intelligence-linked hedge fund and Peter Thiel's own intelligence-riddled company. And that completes our list of intelligence-linked technocrats who received training and guidance from John Brockman and Jeffrey Epstein's futuristic technocratic training programs at Edge. Of course, there are many more famous folks who attended Edge, and maybe we'll have another list soon. But for the time being, you can read the article Musk and Epstein, the Third Culture Dossier on NEWSPASTE, X, Substack, and Patreon. Please support my extensive and detailed journalism by becoming a subscriber on Patreon, Substack, or by buying me a coffee. I've been Johnny Vedmore. Bye.